What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Emergency pod. Felt like it was only right. We had to, put this out there with everything that's just going on. Wow. For people who don't know, Pausha, you want to fill people in with the news that's just been dropped.
It looks like Mike Malone and the GM, Calvin Booth, have been let go with the Nuggets 3 games before the playoffs start.
Yep.
Listen, you want to talk about, first of all, I think let's talk about the Luka trade being something you've never seen before, something crazy, a star player getting traded like that in his prime. Taylor Jenkins getting let go and the Grizzlies were having a good season right before the playoffs. That was crazy. We didn't get it. We still haven't heard much about that. You know, there's little rumors about John not liking the offense, things like that, less touches, whatever. This is shocking news. And yeah, have they lost 4 in a row? Sure. I saw an argument with Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson on the bench. Mike Malone's press conference talking about, the guys don't watch film, things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't expect this. There's no precedent for something like this, right? I mean, how shocked were you?
I was blown away. I was at lunch with my mom. I got a little alert on my phone. I checked it out and saw Mike Malone was fired. He just got an extension a year prior, a couple-year extension. So, he's going to be paid through 2027, I think. Yeah. So it's a shocking move. So just so we can kind of like digest this properly. For one, the move is shocking for a variety of reasons. They're pretty much a 4th seed right now. Again, there's like a game from the 4th to the 8th seed. So they could be an 8th seed tomorrow or a 4th seed. Regardless, they're in the mix in the playoffs, right?
And when you hear 7 or 8 seed, you hear also they could miss the playoffs completely too.
Yeah.
So they also have home court advantage.
Yeah, that's how fickle the Western Conference is right now. So we can't put that in the equation because everyone's kind of in the same boat with the exception of 2 teams in the Western Conference. So that can't get you fired, I guess. They won the championship a few years back. This is a champion.
They won, 20 months ago.
Yeah,
21
months.
This
is a championship coach who won with this best player. They're currently either in the 4th seed, 5th seed, 6th seed, somewhere in that mix. They will be in the playoffs, especially with a guy like Nikola. This is a team that will prevail through. So then you wonder, okay, why did he get fired? And why now? 4 games before the playoffs. We questioned the same thing when Coach Jenkins got fired. Taylor Jenkins got fired, a week ago?
Yeah, about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
And we were like, this is really weird. Memphis is actually having a pretty damn good year, all things considered.
What I want to say now is, this is just the new precedent now. Now that people have done it, before you would say, well, no one's ever done that before. No one's just going to get fired before the playoffs. We just saw it happen twice. Now I feel like this is just the new normal. Now that teams have done it, if you're a coach, how could you ever feel safe? Like, your job is just never safe. Like, name a coach right now. Spoelstra's the 10th seed right now in the East. I think he's the best coach in the NBA. He's the 10th seed. I don't know if he feels pressure. Like, every coach right now is probably looking around the same way Luka got traded, and every player was like, if that guy can get traded, he just went to the finals. Who's safe?
No one's safe in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
It's a sad reality of it all. I would say the best players are, but after the Luka trade, I really don't believe in much in terms of stability in the NBA. I believe, listen, I don't want to be negative. The NBA is the greatest league in the world. I love it. Was privileged to be born around it. I was privileged to play in it, and now I'm privileged to cover it and still be involved in a handful of manners. With that being said, as the evolution of the game has happened, so has the security in jobs, positions, players, longevity for players. You're speaking to one. If this was the 90s, I probably would have played 16, 17 years, Pausha. The way and how young this league has gone, the cycle in which we're rotating and recycling coaches and players, and how fast the league is moving, I don't believe it's as stable as it once was, which might have to do with the views and this nostalgia of fans buying into a team and believing that they're going to be able to build with them and having some consistency. All the great teams are teams that usually strategically have been together for a long time. But when you have teams that the 08 Celtics, I hate to do it, the Heat, some of these other teams where they just jam all these guys together and immediate success happens. Everyone's chasing that. You don't see a lot of teams that are put together and stay stable. if one bad season happens, they fire. You just gave me 5 examples, whether it's Dwayne Casey, whether it's Bud, whether it's whoever.
So on this pod, we talked about the 2021 Suns. We're 2 games away from the championship. Devin Booker's the only player on that team left a few years later.
And that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they sacrificed that whole young, talented core for Kevin Durant. Again, the immediate success. Kevin, names, big stars, to win, Brad Beal.
And they doubled down on Brad Beal, yeah.
And then it hasn't shown, as most of those didn't, whether it's Brooklyn, and we'll see what the Warriors are doing, and we'll see what this team is doing. That's where we're at now. There's not a lot of stability in the sport of basketball anymore. And I love that we have a lot of player empowerment. I really do. I'm prideful. And Adam Silver, in my opinion, is one of the greatest commissioners of all sports. And this is some Duke on Duke love. This is genuine thoughts and feelings towards him. I love what he's done. But with that player empowerment, the players run the league. And because of such, there is a influx of instability. And you don't know who's going to be kept. You don't know who's going to be fired. You don't know who's going to be traded. We used to be like, oh, the only players that are safe, the only people that are safe in the NBA are the top guys. Luka Doncic got traded, man. They're nobody's safe.
And if we weren't talking about Luka and that crazy trade, we'd be talking about Cat going to the conference finals with the team that drafted him number 1, was there for 9 years, all NBA player multiple times, traded right before the season started. Yep. He was probably thinking, oh, wow, like we almost just won the title.
Well, we know he thought that because he texted me that. I could put I could put my text, I'm not going to do that, but I could put my phone right up to the camera right now and show my latest text from Cat, and he'd be like, yo, I never thought I was going anywhere. There's no stability. There's no security.
Players and coaches.
And that's a weary thing, man. And this is why the league it's all relationship based. It's still different than business. And again, the security is not there, stability is there, but that's what it is. When you got Coach Malone on the mic talking about players, this and this and that, but they got rid of Buddy.
Yeah.
Now, the Calvin thing I think was overdue, and I think they were going to do it anyway. So I think when they got rid of him, they, like you said, they wanted to make sure they just got both out and made sure they weren't with Calvin and Burst. I think like, let's just get him out as well.
Right.
I think they've been wanting to fire Calvin Booth. But the Malone thing was a mismanagement of players because that's all the league is now. Half is not even coaching. That's one side of it. You could be a great coach, as we've seen, whether you're my father, whether you're Dwayne Casey, whether Adrian Griffin, who was 33-13, whatever their record was at the time, they got rid of him. Why? Because he didn't, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe he was trying. Maybe it wasn't his fault. Player management. Players have all the power. And again, I'm for it, but it's caused there is no stability in our league as a player now or as a coach. There's none. You don't know.
To wrap it up, is this with Luka, the Luka trade and this move and everything, is this one of the craziest seasons you remember?
For sure.
Yeah.
Not only the trades, not only the fires, but when they've happened. They traded Karl Towns, not in the summer when they had a training camp to build together. They traded right before the goddamn season started. They fired Taylor Jenkins a week and a half before the playoffs. They fired Coach Malone 3-4 days before the playoffs. This is insane. Now they're firing GMs before the playoffs as if they even have a job to do right now. Like, you could have waited till the playoffs were over to fire Calvin Booth. He ain't got no card to play right now. A GM, they can't do anything right now anyways. The playoffs are starting. They're pretty much useless. They just have to sit back and watch whatever they put together, managed and coached. They firing them too. I don't know. You got college coaches always threatening to leave and go up to the NBA or down or traded. But they're asking these college coaches mid-tournament, are you going to leave your program? Any little program that's having success, that coach gone. Any little program head coach, they trading up too. There's no love or security because the dollar is influencing everyone. The players, the coaches, the job, the prestige, move up in the world. That's where we're at. Every college coach that's at a little program in the tournament, they're asking them not how they're going to game plan and win the Sweet 16 or go to the Elite 8 or go to the Final Four. Have you taken the job at so-and-so state? I don't want to talk about that. It's disrespectful to my players. As soon as they lose, I've announced I'm going to this. That's what we're getting. There's not this. It's gone, Pausha. And at this point, I'm here to tell you this is the truth. I can complain about it or not. You either got to adapt or die. We're adapting. We're going to continue to love our sport because we love it. And I'm not saying it's headed in the wrong direction. I'm saying it's headed in a new direction. And people got to be wary of this. There will be little security in the future of the NBA. As a player, as a coach. In fact, I would argue that in the future, it's going to be harder to put a decade together in the NBA. It's going to be hard to put careers together like mine. And I wasn't even an all-star. I was never those things. But I was a role player in every team I played, but a good one. And I played for over a decade in the NBA. It's going to be very hard to do in today's day and age with all the movement going on and with all the yeah, I can go on about this for days. So we're shocked here. We'll have more. next episode, I'm obviously going to reach out and talk to people and just see kind of what's going on. It's not like it's not going to come out anyway. And I will release what I'm allowed to release, because obviously I'm not going to put people's business out there like that. But we're going to do our best. Obviously, with the ties I have to Denver and everything in the league, we're going to figure out more about why this happened, why it happened now. But overall, what was needed to be taken away from this, we said loud and clear. So I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No. We have much more coming Thursday. Our next pod, so much to cover as the Western Conference daily changes, and we'll be here to cover it. So
we'll be back Thursday. Y'all continue to have a great week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, the TikTok for all updates, all videos, clips, podcasts, announcements, and much more. The Off Guard Podcast, you can follow us on TikTok or Instagram. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that button. Y'all be safe. Have a great week. Me and Pausha will be back.